Hello guys, welcome to Lim Gautek's YouTube channel. Today we are going to do some Soalan Ramalan about KBAT question of coordinate geometry. It appears in my dream yesterday night. So this is the first question. Okay, if you are given the diagram and the coordinate points, and if PA equals to QA, and the area of this triangle is 10 square unit, find the value of H and K. So first thing you comes to your mind is you process PA equals to QA, and by using the distance formula and then sub in the value for PA and QA, you got these two equations in the left and right hand side. Expand it, and I'm pretty sure that you all know how to expand this, right? As you know, a plus b bracket squared is equals to a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. So you need to be familiarized with this and do some quick math to expand this. You got this line. Okay, so now you cross out h squared, k squared in the right hand side also, and then you got this. Sum up the values here. Okay, and then now that you need to move h into one side and k into one side, and then you see which one is larger, so you put negative this 13 to the right hand side, negative 13, then simplify. You got 4h equals to 12k plus 12, and then from here, right, you divide by 4, you get h equals to 3k plus 3, and let's just leave it here and then proceed with a second info given by the question, which is area of triangle equals to 10. So from here we need to understand that we can use this to get the second equation, and you got first equation, second equation, and two variable, which is simultaneous equation. So let's move on to the second part. Use area formula. What is the first point? So A is 2, 3, B, C, and then come back to A. Here is P, Q, and A. Okay, so you use P, Q, A. 2, 3, 4, negative 3, H, K. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, negative 3, H, K. Come back to first point, 2, 3. And then now you need to times up the blue color one and then sum it up, minus by the sum of red color products. Okay, so you can see this part is a sum of a blue color one, and this one is the sum of red color one. 2 times negative 3, 4k, 3h. 3 times 4, 12, minus 3h, 2k, 2k. Okay, so you simplify everything inside this absolute, you got the second equation, and then this 2, you move it to the left hand side, got 20. Okay, so now you got first equation and second equation. You can sub first one into second one, so you just sub it in to h here, and then simplify this whole thing in the bracket. You got this, and then divide both sides with 20. You got absolute k equals to 1, and k can be positive, negative 1, but k equals to 1 since a is at the positive quadrant. So if you see here, this k can only be 1, cannot be negative 1, as this a point is at the positive quadrant. So this means that both your h and k is positive. Okay, so you got k is 1, and then sum it back to the first equation. You got h equal to 3k plus 3, which is 6. So this is the first equation. Easy, right? First question. Okay, come to second question. If you are given a parallelogram ABCD, and E is a intersection point of BD and AC, and you are given the equation for AB and CB. Note that A is a point on y-axis, and your E is given this coordinate, which is the intersection of a diagonal. Okay, find the coordinates of A, B, C, and D. So from here, we got to change the equation of AB into y equal to mx plus c. I always like to change like this because in y equal to mx plus c, you can find the y-intercept. Okay, so you know that for line AB, right, A is a y-intercept. So what is the value for y at point A? Definitely the y-intercept. So if you see this equation AB, what is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is 1. So you can know that A is 0, 1. The x for A is 0 because it is y-intercept. If a point is at y-intercept, x equals to 0. If a point is at x-intercept, y equals to 0. Okay, so you got point A. And now let's proceed to find point B. You are given two equations, AB and BC. So can I say that at point B, it satisfies both equation AB and BC, which is simultaneous equation. So from here, you got AB equation here, CB equation here. Since both y are the same at point B, so you can say that this first equation equal to second equation. Then do some simplification. You got x equal to 4, and then sub it back to the first equation or second equation. You got y equals to 2. So you got B is 4, 2. Okay, easy, right? So from here, now you got to find points C and D. And note that your E is the intersection point, and this thing is a parallelogram. So when it says parallelogram, right, means that the intersection point is at the midpoint of this and this. So you can say that AE equals to EC and BE equals to ED. So you got point A, B, and E. So let's see one by one. Now we see this line AC. Okay, so in here you got point A, you got point E, and you know that AE equals to EC. So can you find C? The answer is yes. Since you know this is a midpoint, so you can use a midpoint formula. So on the other hand, if you see this line BD, you got point B, you got point E, and you know that E is at the middle of BD. Can you find D? Yes, you can use a midpoint formula as well. So in the second page, I show that I use a midpoint formula to solve this. So when you sub in the coordinates for A and E in here, and for B and E in here, you know that 1 is equal to this. So x, coordinate of x, xc divided by 2 equals to 1, and you got xc equals to 2. And same things goes here. The 1 plus yc over 2 is equals to 3.5. So doing some simplification, you got yc equals to 6. So your coordinate of C is 2, 6. So same things goes here. 4 plus xd divided by 2 is equal to 1. 2 plus yd divided by 2 is equal to 3.5. So doing some simplification here, you got xd equals to negative 2. yd equals to 5. So d is negative 2, 5. So let's go to the second part, where you're asked to find the area of a parallelogram. So let's use the area formula, okay? So area equals to 1 over 2 absolute of first point second point, third point, fourth point, come back to the first point. So in this here, first point is A, 0, 1, B, 4, 2, C, 2, 6, D, negative 2, 5, and come back to first point, A, 0, 1. So now, you got to multiply this, 0 with 2, 4 with 6, 2 with 5, negative 2 with 1. Then, sum it up. So, 0, 2, 0, 4, 6, 24, 2, 5, 10, negative 2, 1, negative 2. So, minus this rate 1, 1 times 4, 2 times 2, 6 times negative 2, 5 times 0. So 1, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 6, negative 2, negative 12, 0, 5, 0. So sum this minus sum this. You got 18. Press your calculator. Okay. Next, the third question. So you are given this diagram, and note that the curve is 8y equals to 16 minus x squared, and it cut the x-axis at point A and D. So A and D is a x-intercept. Cut the y-axis at point B. B is y-intercept. Straight line AB is perpendicular to BC. And this C cut the curve. Okay. Find the equation of AB. So how do you find equation for AB? You need to know the point for A and point for B. So how do you find point of A? You know that A is a root for the curve. So just solve this A when y equals to 0, since it's the x-intercept. So you sub y equals to 0 into here. You got 0 equals to 16 minus x squared. And then how to factorize this? You know that a squared minus b squared equals to a minus b, a plus b. So equals to 4 minus x, 4 plus x. X is 4 and negative 4. So there's two solutions here. Note that a is at the negative quadrant, so the x for a is negative 4. And since it's a x-intercept, y equals to 0. So you got point A. And then when B, at point B, B is y-intercept. So x equals to 0, sub it into the equation, you got 8y equals to 16. Y equals to 2. So your B is 0, 2. So now you got 2 points, A and B. Can you find the equation? The answer is yes. Since you can get the gradient, m of AB is equal to delta y over delta x. 2 minus 0, 0 minus 4. So minus minus become positive. 2 over 4, 1 over 2. Okay. So now you got y equals to mx plus c. What is c? C is y-intercept. In this case, your y-intercept is b. So the c is the y value at b. Okay. So you got this. Easy, right? Next, you know that you want to find equation for BC, and AB is perpendicular to BC. So what comes to your mind? M1, M2 equals to negative 1s. Perpendicular, M1, M2 equals to negative 1. So M1, M2 equals negative 1, and you know M1 is 1 over 2, M2 is negative 2. And you know that y-intercept is 2 because the y-intercept for BC is also at B. Okay, so you know that equation of BC is y equals to mx plus c. Summing the value, you got this. Okay, then let's see the third question. Coordinate of C. So you know that at C, both equation for BC and this curve satisfied. So whenever you see the intersection point, first thing come into your mind, simultaneous equation. Okay, so you got equation of BC, and then you change the equation of the curve into y. Okay, so you got this, and since it at C, right, the y is the same, so you know that both equation holds, this equals to this. And then do some simplification by crossing out this 2 and 2. Move this to the right, you got this. And what is this? This is a quadratic equation. But to do the factorization, you always want the coefficient for x squared is an integer. So you multiply this by 8, you got this. Factorize out x, you got this. So your x can be 0 and 16. So this means that there's two intersection point of line BC and the curve. So you can see here, line BC and the curve intersects at 2 points B and C. So at B, your x is 0. At C, your x is another value. So you use 16 for C. And then sub it back to the first equation, y equals to negative 2x plus 2. You got your y is negative 30. Hence, you got C is this coordinate. Easy, right? Next, let's move on to the fourth question. So points P move in a way such that its distance from A and B is equal. And the points Q move in a way such that the distance from C is always 2 units. Locus of point P and Q intersect at 2 points. Find equation of locus P. So whenever you see locus, first thing comes into your mind is these two equations, where the first one is for one fixed point, second one is for two fixed points. So for the case of P, how many fixed points you got? You got A and B. So you need to use the second equation. So what is the ratio? Since it says the distance from A and B is always equal, so your ratio is 1 to 1. Okay, 1 to 1. And then just sub in the values. Which one is the first fixed point? A. Second fixed point? B. So 0 to negative 4, 6, 0 is A, B, C, D. Okay, just sub it inside. And then you square both sides to get rid of this square root. You got this. And then you move the denominator to the left hand side. You got this. And then expand this, just like what we did in the last question. You got this. Cross out the x square, y square for both sides. You got this. And then simplify it. You got the equation for locus P. Next, shows that the equation of locus Q is x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 4y plus 9 equal to 0. So for this case, you got only one fixed point. So the equation comes into your mind is the first equation. You know that it is always 2 units from C, so R equals to 2. And then what is your A and B? Your A and B is negative 3 and 2. So just sub this inside. You got this. And then square both sides to get rid of the square root. You got 2 square, 4. And then negative, negative become plus. So you got this. Expand this. And then move this 4 to the right hand side. So plus 4 become negative 4. Cancel both out. You got this, which is the equation of locus for Q. Okay, so we are done with the second part. Let's go on to the third part. Find the coordinates of the intersection points of the two loci. Given that P and Q intersect at 2 points. Okay, so whenever you see intersection, first come into your mind simultaneous equation. Since at these 2 points, at the intersection point, both equations holds. So you got the first equation is the equation for locus P, second equation for locus Q. So like what we did in the simultaneous equation, sub 1 into 2. So just sub 1 into 2, or the y, replace it with negative 2x minus 3, got this. and then expand it like what we did, got this. Plus up all the term, you will get this. And since this cannot be factorized, so I choose to use the general formula to got the solutions. So you got, pressing your calculator, you got x equals to negative 1.728 and negative 3.472. So sub it into the first equation, you got y equals to 0.456 when x equals to negative 1.728, and when x equals to negative 3.72472, you got y equals to 3.944. So there's two intersection points. The answer is this. So these four questions are the question of Soalan Ramalan this year, and it appears in my dream yesterday night. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more math and engineering videos in the future, hit the subscribe button. See you all next time.